Weather is just great. How long do you think we're going to be with you? Let me try to explain what I was doing in Israel. I was, as I said at my arrival, dealing with three very specific questions of unresolved issues relating to the text of the peace treaty. On two of these issues, these are matters that are going to be resolved in the treaty negotiations between Egypt and Israel, and I am simply conveying the views of the Israeli government to the Egyptian government, and I will be happy to convey the responses to those if I'm asked to. And I don't want to characterize, obviously, those talks about those points because they are matters that I should properly report first to the government here. In addition to that, I was discussing certain matters relating to one paragraph in the treaty that is being handled at this point in a more or less bilateral way between ourselves and the Israelis. And as I said before I left Israel, we did resolve most of the issues, but not all of them, on that particular point, and I will be reporting on this as well to the government here. And I don't really want to I don't want to go beyond that at this point. I think it's not really appropriate until I've had my meetings here for me to go into the substance of the matters that I'm here to discuss. I really think that's a little too broad a question. Perhaps you can ask that again after I've been here a couple of days. Okay?
No, I speak about American position. I'm not mentioning
Well,
Egyptian.
no, our position has not changed, of course. We have certain positions, and we stand on these positions. We proceed from the positions that we have that have been the basis of our approach to our role as a full partner in the peace talks from the beginning.
No, I mean the positions when Mr. Vance was negotiating with
well, I
President
can't really go beyond what I said. We have certain positions that are constant, and we stand on those positions as we play our role as a full partner.
Okay,
Thank you. First of all, let me apologize for our delayed departure. I'm sure you've all been waiting a very long time, and I'm sorry about that. But as I'm sure you know, negotiations are unpredictable, and one can never be quite sure about one's schedule. I'm very glad to be back with my colleagues in Egypt. Mr. Hansel and I were sent by the Secretary to carry on the discussions that have been going on between our government, the government of Egypt, the government of Israel about the Middle East negotiations and the Middle East peace process. I've spent a week in Israel talking about ways to deal with the unresolved issues related to the text of the peace treaty, and I will be reporting here on our talks in Israel and hearing the views of the government of Egypt, and look forward very much to seeing my friends in Cairo. I don't really think I have anything more substantive to say at this point until I've had my meetings here, but I'm very glad to be back, and thank you all for being here to greet us. Thank you. Decision tomorrow. Well, Thomas says he wants us to get together at 6 a.m. tomorrow.
American style. How about
Thank you. You going to lock me up? Equal time?
Where would the issue of linkage be resolved? Would it be here or would it be at a future meeting?
Well, let me point out that, as I said when I arrived, and I think it's been said a number of times since then, my mission, Mr. Hansel's mission, is focused on issues related to the treaty itself, to certain articles and paragraphs in the treaty, and matters related to them. There are other matters which are not part of our mandate, and these presumably will be discussed if and when it is possible to resume ministerial level talks. When I left, the announcement was made that our mission basically was to try to prepare the way for talks at the ministerial level, and we will be exploring these questions during our time here.
So linkage is not to be discussed?
That is not on the agenda of our mandate. Thank you very much.
Do you think it is possible to solve the paragraph 5 of Article 6, which is the main problem at this level of the talks?
That, of course, as you know, is the article that has been discussed in a bilateral context during my talks in Israel. And as I announced before I left, we resolved most of the issues, but not all of them. I will be, at least I have said that my present intentions are to go back again to Israel after my talks here to continue those talks, those discussions, and it's really too soon to predict whether a settlement is going to be possible or not. Thank you very much. I think that's...
Is he here when Mr.